Raider Nation, what's going on? This is the Raiders Report. My name's Mitchell Renz. Can you tell? I got a new background. You guys voted on it, and I think we picked a winner, that's for sure. Now, let's get into some Raiders news. Oakland Raider linebacker Bruce Irvin was born to be a Raider, and I don't know about you, I think that deserves a hashtag Raider Nation in the comments because, well, I think that's awesome to hear. There's no doubt about it. After just 2 seasons as a Raider, linebacker Bruce Irvin has realized he may have been put on this earth to play for the silver and black. He tweeted out, low-key, feel like I was born to be a Raider. I think that's awesome. There's no doubt. And there's one thing that's also I want to know from you guys. How many years have you been a Raiders fan? I think I'm always blown away on how passionate you guys are, commenting on our shows on YouTube, on Facebook. And, well, I want to know how many years have you been a Raiders fan? And, Raider Nation, why don't you click subscribe? You see that little button down there? I'm going to give you a second or two. Click subscribe to the new Oakland Raiders report on YouTube. I would definitely greatly appreciate that. Now, let's get into some more Raiders news. Next one coming up on the board for you. The Raiders are going to pound the rock a lot this year. And, well, you know who said that? John Gruden. And I think that guy knows what he's talking about. So, Gruden has been vocal about wanting to pound the rock and plans to do so with one of the best offensive lines in the NFL and a group of running backs behind starter Marshawn Lynch. On Friday, the Raiders broke down every running back on their roster and started with an article stating that the team plans to pound the rock a ton. And I feel like, well, I don't know about you, but I really like the sound of that. This will also take some of the pressure off the shoulders of Derek Carr, who struggled a little bit last year. And, well, when you're going to run the ball effectively, that's going to help the team out a lot. Next bit of news I got for you guys coming up on the board. Cowherd. He picked the Oakland Raiders to finish last in the AFC West. And, well, I think this is a little bit, we'll say, ludicrous. Now, many believe that the Oakland Raiders are going to return to their glory days with Gruden running the show, but don't count Fox Sports radio host Colin Cowherd among them. On his Monday show, Cowherd went through the AFC West and broke down the good and the bad. Ultimately, he believes the Chargers will win the division and secure a number 2 seed in the conference. The Chiefs are a second-place team with a 9-7 record, and then the Broncos at 7-9. For the Raiders, Colin sees them as a mess, finishing at 5-11. His main reason, why you ask? Gruden not being able to find his way into the NFL after, well, missing almost an entire decade. Raider Nation, what's going on? This is the Raiders Report. My name's Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365. Those are my news. Now I'm going to get into some rumors. And, well, if you're a new viewer, you're going to need to understand my Raiders rumor scale. 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. This rumor is not going to happen. 1 Chucky head, small shred of truth, 25% chance happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50 coin flip. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. I like to think 75% chance of happening. And then 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby, 100% this one is going to happen. So, let's get into some of those rumors. First one, Gareon Conley, a 2018 breakout. I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. We broke down breakout players for each NFL team, and for the Raiders, we picked Gareon Conley on NFL Daily last night. It's difficult to have much more of a disappointing rookie season than Conley had in 2017. The former first-round pick barely played as a rookie, and when he didn't impress. The reason for his struggles were more due to the injury, not skill. He will be looking to prove the Raiders made the right choice when they drafted him last year. There has been a ton of hype around Conley this offseason. I'm buying a ticket on the Conley hype train. If you're too, then throw a train emoji in those comments below. Let's get that Conley hype train chewing. Choo-choo. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, E.J. Manuel is going to be the Raiders' backup quarterback. I'm going to also give this one 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. So E.J. Manuel was in Dallas at the Fantasy Football Convention on Saturday, and, well, guess who was also there? Your boy, right here. I waited in line patiently to get my little interview with E.J. Manuel, and I introduced myself, gave myself a little humble plug, Chat Sports and the Raiders Report being the #1 show on YouTube and Facebook, and I asked him, who's winning the training camp battle between him and Connor Cook, and who will be the backup to David Carr? He looked at me, he smirked, and he also said, me. I'm the guy winning it. I'll be honest, I like this. I think E.J. Manuel is clearly the more talented guy, and he's the guy that I want to back up Carr, no doubt about it. Is it time to give up on Amari Cooper? Well, I'm going to give this one 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. Now, guys, seriously, raise your hand if you thought Amari Cooper was going to have a breakout year, or, type in 1 since I can't really see you guys. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I definitely did. I thought he was going to have a breakout year in 2017. So many people And like I said, including myself, we're expecting that breakout year for Cooper in 2017, and it's for good reason. Cooper was coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and entering the popular third-year breakout season. Cooper was selected to the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 seasons, and it was assumed he would make a big leap in year 3. However, that didn't happen. Cooper played in 14 games, caught just 48 passes for 680 yards. His catch percentage dropped all the way down to 50% and became one of the most inefficient receivers in football. Consider this, though. Despite his poor 2017 season, Amari Cooper has the 7th most receiving yards all time before the age of 24, and he just turned 24 in June. Cooper's 2,903 receiving yards puts him behind guys like Randy Moss, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, David Boston, Larry Fitzgerald, and Akeem Nicks. But he's in front of guys like Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, and Odell Beckham. Raider Nation, it's not time to give up on Amari Cooper. This guy's an absolute stud. Next one I got for you guys coming up on the board. Raiders Week 1 underdogs against the Rams on Monday Night Football. Find out after a sponsor, Mizzen and Main. Well, I'm going to give this one 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Now, I'm going to definitely root for the Raiders, but the Rams did a lot this offseason, and that's why they're ultimately underdogs. It seems many sports bettors aren't willing to buy into the hype surrounding the new-look Raiders in 2018. At least, not until they see this team on the field first. The Raiders will start off their regular season play with a matchup against the Los Angeles Rams, a team unquestionably on the rise entering 2018. As things stand, the Rams are an early 3-point favorites over the Raiders, and even with the game being played in Oakland, 80% of bettors think the Rams will cover the spread. So, I want to know from you guys, who's going to win Monday Night Football Week 1? If you think it's the Raiders, give me a heart. If you think it's the Rams, give me a like. And heck, if you want extra bonus points or brownie points, I got a sweet tooth. Why don't you throw in the score as well? That's definitely greatly appreciated. Next Raiders rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board. Oakland, an above-average pass rush. I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. Now, yesterday, PFF released their rankings for the top pass rushing defenses in 2018. We know Khalil Mack is a nightmare for defenses, and if Maurice Hurst and Arden Key could step up in 2018, this will make Oakland one of the best pass rush units in the league. Also, adding to the equation, Bruce Irvin, who is looking for double-digit sacks season. The Raiders could finish in the top 10, but PFF also thinks that the Broncos and Chargers have a better pass rush in Oakland. I don't know what the heck's going on with all these people ripping on Oakland, but I think Oakland's going to have a pretty solid team, and they're going to have a pretty solid pass rush, that's for sure. Last Raiders rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board. Kolton Miller is not going to start. Wait a minute. I'm going to give this one Chucky head, small shred of truth. So, this isn't for me, right? This is from a guy from SB Nation. Kolton Miller was selected in the first round of the 2018 NFL Draft, and he's not going to be starting. So SB Nation wrote, Miller could take a back seat before starting at tackle. Miller was a good pick, but with Donald Penn at left tackle and David Sharp possibly on the right side, it may be best to have Miller develop for a while before starting him. I don't have an issue with Penn, but Sharp? Come on, man. I get he looked pretty good filling in for Penn last year, but I can't imagine him starting over Miller. Miller is getting a ton of reps right now at left tackle, but Gruden has already hyped up how athletic Miller is, and I believe he will be able to play right tackle at a high level. Sorry if I sound flustered, but about to crack open a Miller, and let's live that high life, Raider Nation. Raider Nation, thanks so much for tuning in to Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and why don't you guys like Oakland Raiders by Chat Sports on Facebook so you know exactly when I go live.